now like to welcome Malgorzata, who will be doing a presentation shortly.
I would like to talk about our different from others examples you had. My name is Malgorzata Herbich. I'm the Polish ASPnet National Coordinator. For us, we are meeting during a very difficult time for the international community linked to UNESCO. As James Bridge reminded, UNESCO's goal is to build peace in minds of people. Our cooperation with Anne Beatty and Vera Dilari from Greece began with the ASPnet meeting in Kazan in Russia. All the more, the present situation is very sad for me. We no longer have contact with ASPnet in Russia, and the Polish ASPnet is currently focusing its activity on helping Ukraine and millions of refugees, especially children who ended up in our schools. The Russian invasion took place on February 24th. 4 days later, one of our schools near Warsaw accepted about 200 young refugees. In total, almost 4 million Ukrainians, mainly women and children, crossed the Polish border. Many of them already returned home, others went to different countries, but for now, about 30% declared they want to stay in Poland forever. This is where the network, like ASPnet, is very helpful. We organized 2 online meetings. We shared materials received from UNESCO and ASPnet during the meeting in March 17th of the representatives of ASPnet from countries most affected by the exodus from Ukraine: Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Romania, Moldova, and Germany. The schools exchanged information and developed ideas as well as materials regarding reception of refugees. For years, some of our schools have been conducting intercultural activities for students related to the presence of refugees or immigrants, which have now turned out to be invaluable. The schools also shared their experience. For example, they recommended the elimination of bells signaling the beginning of lessons, which could resemble for the howling of anti-aircraft sirens. Schools spontaneously organized anti-war demonstration and collection of gifts for refugees. Those located near the border with Ukraine organized transport of things necessary for refugees and transports of people from the border. In schools where Ukrainian children were present, school communities brought their families from Ukraine to their own homes. But the subject of peace in Poland, a country so affected by war in the past, is always present. Maybe that is why Polish ASPnet was invited to 2 pilot editions of the International Youth Competition in the service of peace, organized by France Télévisions and UNESCO in cooperation with UNESCO national committees. In the first edition, it was students from Lebanon who experienced war. They were the ones who created the most powerful works. When the second edition was announced in 2021, an almost prophetic film entitled "Have You Been at War, Son?" was made by a Ukrainian high school student from Warsaw. The finals of the competition took place during the war. Her compatriots and friends now have to fight. The second competition in which Polish students took part in with great success was also the French film competition entitled "When Sound Creates Image," organized as a part of the UNESCO Sound Week. The Grand Prix was won by a student from high school in Lublin, Poland, for the film entitled "Mist." It refers to the situation of refugees and the fear they experience. But I want to end my presentation with another film entitled Colors of Hope, made by teachers and children from a kindergarten in Warsaw. This film won the jury's special prize in the same competition. It beautifully shows the values promoted by UNESCO, which are cultivated and on a daily basis in the ASPnet. Thank you for attention. I hope you enjoy the film. Thank you very much.
What a beautiful film. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Malgorzata. Amazing. I mean, I'm not sure whether it was one of the slides at the beginning about the idea that it just takes one candle to illuminate any amount of darkness. And I guess from your perspective, you're closer to darkness than many of us. And therefore, the candle that you are shining is more illuminating. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.